Hello, and welcome to the Mommy Escape Time podcast. I am Lauren, your host, and I have a 1-year-old son. I started this podcast for any mother who might feel alone in their journey through motherhood. Becoming a mom is hard no matter how you get there, and this podcast is about the mom stuff that comes up in our lives. Listen, enjoy, and connect with us on the Mommy Escape Time podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Mommy Escape Time podcast. I am Lauren, your host, and today I am here again with my husband, Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Lauren, again.
So, we have been doing some episodes about the Christmas season. So today we are going to talk about what we do about presents during the Christmas season. We are by no means telling anyone how to do it. We're just letting you know how we have ended up doing it. And we are very lucky, and Brian's favorite word, blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
To have lots of wonderful things in our life. So we don't feel the need to have people give us gifts as much. So I think one of the biggest things that we have done is that with our brothers and sisters, we do not exchange gifts with other adults, brothers and sisters, unless it's like a picture of our kids and things like that.
Or ourselves.
So we try really not to, we can go down like a rabbit hole with that. Like, oh, we have to buy for this person, and this person, and this person. So as adults, if we really want something, I think we can buy them. And we also understand that if we cannot afford things, then we don't buy them. We might have to wait and save up for things. So it's nice if people give us things, but I think now that we all have kids, we'd rather have the kids get a little something than us get anything at all. Correct?
That is correct.
You are part of the show too.
I know.
So we kind of like reduce the amount total that we're trying to get for people. I think the hardest part that I have is when it comes to our own child and buying for him. Last year, I think we each bought him one thing.
Right. Yep, we did.
So we each bought him one present. And afterwards, I remember after Christmas was over, I was like, oh my gosh, he got so much stuff. Like we can't do this again. And all I think about is like, well, we only bought him like one thing each, but a lot of other people also bought him one thing each. So I think, we're trying to go through what he has now to see. A lot of the toys that we bought last year, I would say, were meant to last for 2 or 3 years. They weren't toys that were like in the moment.
Right, and he's certainly not bored with anything he has now. He still plays with a lot of the same toys. I mean, stuffed animals and things like that. He's not going to grow out of right away. And some of the toys, they did a good job of making them, they can kind of grow along with your child. So we have the thing that's sort of a table that originally started on the floor and had a level one, and it was just colors and shapes, and now it's more of a table because it came with legs and it has different languages. So a few of those toys kind of continue with him for a few years, which is nice.
Right, and I think that's when we do buy gifts, that's kind of what we're looking for. We're not looking for like a toy that he can only play with for a few months and then it's over.
Right.
So that's, and we are definitely welcomed of used gifts as presents. We never turn down free stuff ever.
No. I mean, he's lucky enough to have a niece and a nephew who had a lot of good quality toys, and a lot of those have found their way to us, which is fine because a lot of the stuff just doesn't wear out because they either weren't interested in it to begin with, or they played with it for a little while and moved on to something else. So a lot of times you get these toys that have barely been used.
Right, and I think they make toys very durable because they know kids are going to throw them and bang them, and they're going to go through all this stuff. So that's just the kind of toys that we have for him. Yeah. I have a few toys that we got even last Thanksgiving from one of your sisters that I've put aside. So, we can always wrap those things up for him to unwrap. Because he's still, he's 18 months old. So he's still at the age where he's not going to really, a year and a half. Sorry, I'm supposed to stop saying the months now. He's a year and a half old. So now we're, trying to move to just, using whatever toys we have. And
Yeah.
he doesn't know that it's a used toy or a brand new toy
No, and he's really into books. So we're
Yes.
doing, a lot of books we have. A lot of them were gifts, and the library's great around here. But yeah, I mean, he's still really into, dollar pool noodles. We've got so much use out of pool noodles. He loves to just walk around and swing those inside, outside. I mean, crinkled up pieces of paper, and he'll play with
Yeah.
just about anything. He's still not at the age where there's a distinction between toys and just non-toys. So yeah, I don't think there's any need to really go crazy with things this year.
Right. And I think the grandmothers are really good that they always, throughout the whole year, they buy him
Mhm.
clothes.
Right.
But around this time of year, they also buy him clothes. And again, they just buy him one gift each
Mm-hmm.
so that, we're not overloaded, because I love the phrase, well, you have a house, so you have plenty of room now. Well, I don't need every inch of my house filled with
Right,
toys
with
for
toys,
our
yeah.
kid.
Right, and they're both pretty good about going on missions or going for hunts. If we think of a particular thing that, obviously, if you do enough searching around, you can find it yourself online. But they have the time to go out and sort of hunt for things in person. So if we're looking for a particular clothing item to serve a certain purpose, like we were looking for sweatshirts or jackets that sort of had the mittens built in because he likes to pull them off or something. So we gave that as a mission to one of the grandmothers, and she hunted one down. So I think they're pretty good about buying things that they would enjoy Luke having, but also the practicalness of, okay, what does he really need, and let's go get that.
Right. Like, I have no issue calling or texting one of the grandmothers, like, I am looking for this. I just don't have time to find
No,
it.
no.
And it's really nice that they're able to go out, because some of the stuff, like, I don't want to see what it looks like online. Like, I would like to go to a store,
Right.
but going to a store is a production with a child. And so it's much easier for them. So that makes life a lot easier.
Right, and even with the sizes, just because something says it's a 2T online, I mean, we know that could be quite a range of sizes, especially with the pants, because our son's he's tall and he's very lean, so he ends up with a lot of pants halfway down his calves because his legs are just so long. So, yeah, we end up with a lot of certain things for whatever reason. Maybe it's just happens to be when his birthday is or when Christmas is, but the grandmothers are okay with saying, if we say to them, he's really going to be short on short sleeve shirts for next summer or something like that, they'll buy that for Christmas. They don't necessarily have to buy winter jackets just because it's Christmas. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's whatever he needs at the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky for that. And what we do for our grandmothers, can I say, or am
Yeah,
I? Okay.
Of course. It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
Well, in case they're listening.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the
Well,
surprise.
I think they know.
I think once you have a kid, buying for your own parents is, I don't want to say easier, but for us, it's kind of like a standard thing now. I make yearbooks of our child, and if and when they've had pictures with our child, and I make it kind of like a yearbook of our child. So I do all the months and then insert pictures with them in them. And then this year I'm starting, like for Brian's mom, I'm making a calendar with all 3 of her grandkids in them. And for my mom, I'm making it with her 2 grandkids in it, so that they can have these calendars year round. And I think that that's a nice idea. I know for my mom, she has people over her house, then she can show them the book, show them the calendar. She really likes that. And I know your mom likes to show that off too.
Sure.
And it's just like a nice thing. Like, we obviously get to see our child every day, and they don't have that opportunity to see our child every day. So that is just a little memento that they have then. And I think the calendar is a good idea too,
Yeah, that'd
to
be
have
nice.
all of them together. I've never done that before. So I've already started to work on it because I'm very nervous about how long it's going to take. And the hardest part is that because Christmas is so close. Well, I guess it's the same distance away all the time in December, but you have to order the books and the calendars pretty early on in December to get them in on time. So we're trying to get all the Christmas shots in and everything like that on time, so I can add that to the book and add that to the calendar. So that's what we're kind of looking forward
Right.
to.
Yeah, we got to do your Christmas shoots early so you can get them in to be the pictures for December for the calendar.
Right, because we also do Christmas cards,
Right.
so we gotta get all that out too. So it's a lot of. I try and get as much done early on as possible because I know that my mom's already been asking for a Christmas list, and I'm like, can we get through Halloween first?
Right. Right. And we got lucky last year. There's a little museum in town put on by the Historical Society, and they had a day, I guess it was free, and they had Santa and Mrs. Santa Claus come and pose for pictures. So we were able to use that on all our holiday items, and we even got on the cover of the newspaper with that too. So so that worked out well because the stuff in the mall, I mean, the prices on that stuff and the weight and all that stuff is just crazy. So it was nice that our town had that and some other local events for us to take advantage of.
Yeah, our son just got his school pictures, and of course you want to buy them, but like the cheapest price, is like $30, and it's
Yeah.
like, if you think about going to the mall, I think it's $40. That's for your picture with Santa, and I just can't imagine paying for that amount. And I think with the museum that you were talking about, like you're doing something good. You're bringing some food donation, like that's what they're asking for.
Sure.
And so then it goes to our food bank, our local food bank, and you get a nice picture with Santa. And I kind of like that better, and it's a whole house and it's
Yeah.
decorated,
Yeah, they do a
and
good job.
they do a really good job. So I think that's what we kind of prefer. I don't think we give a lot of outside people gifts, but I do give gifts to the people at our son's daycare. I do think that is important. They are watching our child, every day. So I think just giving them something, and normally it's just like a gift card to Target or Amazon, whatever I have time to really get. But I really think that it's important because those people really watch your kid. And I think, yes, you're paying the daycare fee every day, but I think it's still important that you kind of give them a little something, make sure they understand that they're appreciated. And being a teacher myself, I know that makes a difference to me. Like, I'm like, oh, this parent thought of me, like how nice. So I think that's just like a nice personal touch. So the only other, I don't know if it's a gift per se, but we do try to give to our local food bank. November and December, pretty much that's what we try and do. We volunteer at our local food bank to serve a meal in November or December. This year, I think it's in November that we're going to be doing that. And I think that's one of the important things because I think that, you have to remember what the season is about. It's not all about just decorating and getting gifts for people.
Right. It's
and
mostly about that, but it's
it is not. So, and I really want to teach our son, that there is more to life than just stuff. And granted, it's still something I'm learning about, but because you see things and you want them, and it's hard to not want things, but they're not necessities. So we really try and go with the necessities. And I'm trying to think, do we even do presents to each other?
I don't know.
I think it ranges
Every
year
day
to
is a
year.
gift. Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean if there's something you see or you run into, but we really don't need a whole lot. So
I think last year was the first year we did gifts in a long time, and we said I think we did like a $40,
yeah,
like we did some sort of money limit,
yeah.
and I couldn't even tell you what I got you.
I don't even remember.
I
either,
remember what
so-
you got me.
Oh,
It was a Mickey chess set.
oh, that's right. Yeah, yep, that's right.
So yeah, I do remember that. I wish I could remember what I got you.
Me too.
It was so memorable. But see, this is why,
I know.
this is why we try not to do gifts, because if I can't even remember what I got him and he can't remember, then clearly it wasn't anything that we needed to have
No, I guess
in the
not.
house.
No.
And I think the only reason we have that Mickey chess set is we have a dollar like chess set, which is
Right. We
actually
decided to upgrade.
we decided to upgrade
Yeah.
because
Well, we got a chess set from the dollar store just to see if she wanted to learn how to play, and we got we got a lot of use out of it. We played it a
first of
lot.
all, I didn't have a choice. I had a broken leg, so I could only go so far.
Yeah,
But yes,
right. So we played a lot of chess on that, and then we made the commitment to get a Mickey chess set, which is pretty nice.
yeah. So the only hard part is trying to figure out what the pieces
Yes,
stand
I do
for.
struggle with that. They're not the traditional pieces.
Right. But it is fun. We really enjoy that. So there are gifts. I guess Brian is the better gift giver in this case because I probably could remember everything he's ever given us.
Wow.
Given me. But we don't do a lot of gifts.
No.
So
we don't.
I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, and we do the stockings, but we haven't really done much for each other in those.
No.
We maybe get some candy or something, but I don't think we've done a lot there.
I guess technically one year my gift was that you proposed.
Well, that doesn't really count. And that was December 21st.
Yes, but it made me happy through the Christmas season. It
Yeah.
was a gift that
Yeah,
kept on giving.
I got 4 or 5 days out of that.
It's like you didn't have to get me anything
Yeah.
because you already got me something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I can't imagine. I'm trying to think if we do gifts for.
Well, and we had a tradition before Luke was born. We always went to the theater in the capital city. We always went there. They had a Christmas Carol production that they put on that was really, really good. So there are parts of it when they do the ghosts and everything. They're a little bit scary. So we'll probably wait a couple years before we go back with Luke. But that's a really good production. So that was sort of one of our traditions that we'll get back to in a couple of years.
Yeah. It's a very traditional showing of a Christmas Carol. So it can be it actually starts off pretty scary. That's like the hardest part.
Yeah, it does.
So I think, that was one of our, I really did like doing that.
Yeah, that
like
was one of our treats.
Our
and
date night.
Go out to dinner up there and everything. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun to bring him to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many weekends. You do 3 or 4 things, and
Right.
the first weekend is taken up from decorating. But we did recently go to a toy store that was kind of interesting. We did buy him something. We bought him a little fire truck that makes some noises, and the ladder extends and
Which
whatever.
Is
but
probably the first thing we've ever bought at a
I
store.
know. But that was kind of neat to see a local toy store still in business that survives, because there really isn't any dedicated toy stores now, with Toys R Us mostly out of the mix. But this was an interesting place on the 2 floors of an old factory building, and on the second floor had a massive model train set where they must have had, I don't know, 6 or 8 different trains running at the same time on different tracks and different scenes. And then the first floor was just all toys. So it was stuffed animals, cars, trucks, little Smurf things, little model trains and model cars and airplanes, and
They're
a lot
much
of really
more
interesting.
like unique gifts, like
Yeah, I
not the
would
stuff
say
that you're
so.
gonna find, necessarily like at Target or Walmart.
Right.
It's more unique stuff. They had that Smurf stuff.
Right.
I haven't seen Smurf stuff in forever.
No, I know, and I think that's important now too, because you want to make sure you get something that your child actually enjoys. So if you take your child to a place like that and they walk around, and you can see what they're interested in, if there's a particular stuffed animal or a truck that they like, then you can come back and maybe get that for Christmas. But when you shop online, you kind of miss that. You might get something and it's a total non-hit with your child because they're just not that interested. So I think it's important to support your local toy store if there's one around, and make a day of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we went on a on a rainy day, so that's how we got up there. And I think, we were up there for like 2 hours. I think,
We really were. Yeah.
So I mean, it definitely it took. It definitely was something that our son really liked. So that was nice. And I think we saw kind of different toys. I mean, he definitely flocks to a specific types of toys, trucks.
Yep, definitely into the trucks. He likes those in real life. He points and makes noises, and then and we did go to Barnes and Noble afterwards too. So they have their little toy and kids section too, so you can see what he's into there.
Yeah, we're very surprised that what he can spot out and know
Right.
things.
Yep.
Like when he's in stores, he could find those little baby sharks everywhere.
He does.
Whenever.
Yep. And of course, anything Disney, he's going to seek out, and
Yeah.
he recognizes that right away.
Yeah, so those two things, I feel like when you're in a store and all of a sudden he like yells and points, I'm like, oh, it's Disney or Baby Shark.
Gotta be Disney. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that will wrap up our show about what we do for gift giving. We hope that you all have a nice holiday season, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on, Brian.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Bye.